Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Brian Horror, not horror, so don't get it twisted. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? I'm so excited to bring you guys a new episode of Where Are They Wednesdays, where I talk about a missing person case. If you're new here to my channel, I actually do missing person cases, I do true crime, and I will be doing paranormal videos. So if you are interested in any of those topics, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now. Yes, join our family, our horror family, and hit that notification bell button so you can get notified anytime I post a brand new video here on my channel. Alrighty guys, we're gonna get right into it. So today I was requested, well not today, but like I did get requested to do a case, so I am gonna be covering. Okay, so shout out to Ruvalcaba. Sorry if I can't pronounce your name, but he actually requested me to do a case for today, so I am going to be covering the case. So I already did write some notes down on my phone. I did look at her case, and this one was actually a really interesting one, so thank you so much for that suggestion. I like took down all my notes already, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys about this case. Alrighty, so we're just gonna get right into it. So the disappearance of Leigh Occhi. So Leigh Occhi was 13 years old at the time that she went missing. She was from Tupelo, Mississippi. A little background about her, and she was born on August 21st of 1979. She was actually born in Honolulu, Hawaii, which is, wow, that's so beautiful, and I cannot imagine how, oh my god, that's amazing. That's like such a beautiful state. And her parents were Vicky Felton and Donald Occhi. She did have a really, a really good childhood, but unfortunately her parents did split up in 1981 for unreconcilable differences. So they did divorce in 1981, but Leigh decided to stay with her mother while her father completely moved out to like a different state. So she did move to Tupelo, Mississippi, and stayed with her mom. According to her family, Leigh was a very energetic, bright, young little bubble of joy. She was always very smart and kind. Some of her favorite things I can tell were horseback riding, and she liked pizza very much, which is one of my personal favorites as well. And we're gonna get right into the story. So this all took place, it all started basically on August 26th of 1992. It was around 8 p.m. Leigh had gone out with a couple of friends, and they did drop her off at her house, but she did signal to her friends that the front door was open, which was, I guess, indicating to her that her mom wasn't home yet. So for me assuming right now, I guess her family was comfortable with letting the door open. I guess it was one of those type of neighborhoods where, it's like hardly any crime ever happens. So she ended up going to one of her neighbors' houses to stay until her mom got home. Her mom ends up getting home at around 8:45 p.m. and they spend time together, and enjoy the rest of their evening. So the following morning of August the 27th of 1992, the weather conditions, let me backtrack a little bit. So the weather conditions were actually getting to be really bad during that night. There was going to be Hurricane Andrew, so Leigh was kind of scared to spend the night by herself, so she did ask her mom if she could spend the night with her and stay in her room, which her mom of course agreed. So they spent the night together. So August 27th, 1992, the following morning, her mom wakes up like at around 6:45 a.m. to get ready for work. Leigh is still asleep in her mom's bed, so she decides to get ready for work. And around 7 a.m. she is basically done getting ready for work, and she sees that Leigh has woken up and she's awake. So they decide to have breakfast together and talk about their plans for the evening, because Leigh did have a open house at her middle school, and her grandmother was gonna attend with her. So they made plans that after all of that good stuff was gonna happen, that they were gonna grab some Taco Bell for dinner and enjoy the rest of their night again. Well, this was gonna be one of the first times that her mom Vicky was gonna let Leigh stay home alone, because she ended up going to work and left her home by herself. She, I believe, arrives at work at around 7:50 a.m. She arrives at work and the weather conditions were worsening by like the minute. So Vicky ends up listening in the radio station that the weather conditions were just really bad at that point, and she decides to make a phone call to her house to call Leigh at around 8:30 a.m. and she had already talked to Leigh and made a specific ring on the phone to notify Leigh that her mom was calling her, but when she called, Leigh unfortunately never picked up. So of course, immediately, you know, Leigh's mom knows that something is wrong because it was very uncharacteristic of Leigh not to answer the phone, especially when her mom was calling. So she decides to leave work, maybe like at around 8:45. It was actually not that far from their house. So she gets there, and as soon as she arrives to the house, she does notice that the garage is open and the garage light is turned on, indicating that the garage had been activated, like opened like minutes ago. And not only the garage door was open, but as well as her front door was unlocked. So of course she steps in the house to unfortunately find that there are like blood, like not splatters, but there's blood smeared on the walls, and it just, things were out of place. So she immediately calls the police, and the police gets there at the house like at around 9 a.m. in the morning, as well as Leigh's grandmother arrives at the same time basically as the police. Police indicated that there was no sign of forced entries in the house, and that there had been a sign of struggle because there was blood found in multiple places in the house. There was blood found in her hamper where there was one of Leigh's bras that was covered in blood. So of course police speculate that there was injuries either to the head or above her shoulders. There was blood found on a doorknob with hair still attached to the doorknob as well, indicating that she once again had a head injury. There was blood on the sink as well as pink haze, indicating that the person that assaulted Leigh was basically trying to clean up some of the blood. So of course police end up bringing the bloodhounds, but since the weather conditions were just horrible that day, unfortunately the bloodhounds did have to get called off because they were not able to trace Leigh's scent. But police did investigate a half-a-mile radius around the home because they had like trenches, ditches around the area. She did live like on a cul-de-sac, so they did investigate around the area, but unfortunately were not able to find any signs of Leigh. And from all the blood being found indicated like all over the house, police were of course sure that they were no longer looking for a person, a live person, that they were looking for a body from the amounts of blood. And this is when things kind of get a little bit weird in this case as well, because Leigh did have a boyfriend named Jordan who was 11 years old at the time and she was 13 years old. And one thing that's a little bit weird is that they never actually questioned Jordan, who was her boyfriend, even though he is very young. You know, there was no investigation towards him or any questions or interviews. You know, maybe there could have been some suspicious activity or maybe some mood changes in the frequent weeks or months prior to her disappearance. But unfortunately, there was not really much anything. The only thing that I did find that there was somebody that was under suspicious was, his name was Oscar Kearns, aka Mike. He was actually a Bible school teacher who talked to Leigh a lot frequently about her interests because she did have Bible school. He actually had abducted a 15-year-old girl because he had lied to this girl saying that he was going to drop her off to school, but ended up taking her to a complete different place. Ended up raping her and dropping her off at school. And then of course, you know, he got jail time for that. He was released in 1997, and again once again in 1997 he did commit a crime where he did abduct a couple and he raped the wife. Oscar was the only suspect basically in this case. There haven't been really any more leads after that, but then there was a lead, I believe 9 months later, after she had gone missing on September 9th of 1992, there was an envelope that was sent to Vicky's home, Leigh's mother, in which I forgot to mention, you guys, sorry, hold up, let me backtrack a little bit. But one of the things that they did find out that was missing from the house was Leigh's glasses were missing, and her mom speculated she was wearing an outfit that she had recently gotten for her birthday, so it was like a brand new outfit that she determined she was most likely wearing at the time that she got attacked or kidnapped or whatever happened to her. So anyways, now going forward, in September 9th of 1992, there was an envelope sent to Vicky's mom's home in which Leigh's glasses were actually in the envelope. There was no letter, no writing other than the writing on the address, and there was apparently like 6 stamps on the envelope, which was like way over the what the envelope needed. And they did try to take like DNA samples from the stamps, but they apparently had been wet with water, so unfortunately there was no DNA found. And yes, and a lot of people, including the police, do speculate that this was done to create kind of like a distraction in the case and to throw off the case. You know, this has happened before, for example, and I don't know if you guys know anything about the case of like the Black Dahlia, when, you know, one of the, I think the FBI officers got sent in an envelope with like her passport, her driver's license, the keys, you know, stuff that was missing from the crime scene. So this is basically what I'm speculating, that they as well, you know, sent in her glasses. And I do believe it was probably the person most likely that committed the crime, just to throw off the case and to create commotion. But unfortunately, really, other than that, you guys, there hasn't been like any big more like major leads in this case. Don't think, unfortunately, by like the evidence that was found in the house, that Leigh is alive. But I hope that she is. But it's just kind of really weird because it looked like there really was a struggle in the house. There was like multiple blood, you know, found all over the place. So I have no idea what to think other than, you know, what the facts are. Unfortunately, they still haven't been able to find her body. I hope, you know, there's some sort of resolution as like soon to this case. It's really sad and really tragic, unfortunately, but it's honestly really weird. It was a really weird case, to be honest. Just, you know, how things happen early in the morning. It's just scary that things happen on broad daylight, and this to prove a lot of things. The police also speculate that it has to be somebody that Leigh knew, because Leigh, her mom, did indicate that she would never open the door to strangers. She would never speak to strangers. So they're more confident that it must have been someone that was related to the family or that knew Leigh outside of the family that she trusted in for her to open that door, since there was no evidence of forced entry. But that is all I have for today's case, you guys. Thank you so much once again, Ruben, for sending in this suggestion. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Once again, big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. I would really appreciate it. And hit the notification bell button once again so you can get notified anytime I post a new video. And I will see you guys on my next video. Stay safe and be careful out there, you guys. Bye.